Hello everyone, this is Satish Kumar, a lecturer in Electronics and Communication Engineering working at Government Polytechnic Masaptang, Hyderabad. We are dealing with analog communication subject. This subject is one of the important subjects of Diploma in Electronics and Communication Engineering branch in Telangana state. In this analog communication, we completed 3 chapters, that is basics of communication system and noise, analog modulation techniques, transmitters and receivers. Now I am going to discuss about chapter 4, wave propagation. In this wave propagation, right, wave propagation. This is the 4th chapter in analog communication subject, wave propagation. What do we mean by wave propagation? Wave means any signal which is traveling in the space is called wave. So when you talk about electronic communication system, especially in wireless communication system, there are 2 types of just I'll take the help of whiteboard so that you can understand. Let's say there is a wireless communication system. In this there is a transmitter, there is a receiver. This is transmitter and this is receiver. We are explaining about, I am going to explain what is wave propagation. So in wireless communication there is a transmitter which is accompanied with an antenna transmitting antenna, and receiver is accompanied with receiving antenna. The transmitter transmits the signal and converts them into electromagnetic waves, and they travel in the space. Finally they reach receiver. In which method these electromagnetic waves are taking in the space is explained by wave propagation. Propagation means method of approaching the receiver from the transmitter. Wave means the signals which are traveling in the space are called waves or electromagnetic waves. The method of traveling of electromagnetic waves is explained by wave propagation. So now we are dealing in method of waves which are traveling in the space between transmitter and receiver. In which method the waves are reaching the receiver from transmitter. So we explained in the first chapter, we discussed basics of communication system, what is the importance of transmitter, receiver, information source, destination, all we covered, and what is the importance of noise. In the second chapter we discuss what are the modulations employed in transmitter and what are the demodulations employed in receiver. In the third chapter, what is transmitter types and what is receiver types. In the fourth chapter, how the transmitter is able to send the signal from transmitter to receiver, in which method the waves are traveling from transmitter to receiver. Let us suppose this is transmitter and receiver. In which method the methods are traveling from transmitter to receiver. This is transmitter, this is receiver. So how they are traveling from transmitter to receiver. So now we are explaining at this portion which method the waves are taking place from transmitter to receiver, right? That is called wave propagation. Wave propagation means the method of traveling of electromagnetic waves from transmitter to receiver is known as wave propagation. So in 4th chapter, wait for a while, what is happening? This is chapter 4, wave propagation. So how the electromagnetic waves are reaching from transmitter to receiver is known as wave propagation. In wave propagation there are 18 objectives. What are the properties of electromagnetic waves? Absorption and attenuation. What is power density and electric field intensity? How to calculate power density and electric field intensity for waves propagating in free space. A definition of polarization of EM waves, and what is polarization for vertical and horizontal. What is the characteristic impedance of free space, and reflection, refraction, diffraction and interference of EM waves, and 4 types of wave propagation: ground wave propagation, sky wave propagation, different layers in ionosphere. The terms critical frequency, MUF, maximum usable frequency, skip distance and virtual height. Space wave propagation. What is the definition of line of sight? Expression for line of sight. Explain the methods of diversity to reduce fading effect. What is duct propagation? What is troposphere scatter propagation? These are the 18 topics. Now we are discussing first topic. So look at this picture. I am projecting a picture which is having 3 axes. One is x axis, y axis and z axis, and there is a wave like leaves. Okay, here there are 2 coordinates, one is ex, other one is hy. So in one wave and one portion of wave, the hy is in horizontal, in other portion the hy becomes vertical, right? This is called EM wave. The EM wave, this picture explains the method of propagation of EM waves in free space, right? It is something like perpendicular to each other. 3 coordinates are perpendicular to each other, right? Let's suppose I will draw the diagram so that you can understand, right? Wait, right, this is electromagnetic waves traveling in free space. So there are 3 axes, one is x axis, y axis and z axis, right? Z axis. So this is x axis and this is y axis and this is z axis. In free space the EM waves are generally, EM waves means it's a combination of electric field and magnetic field. It's a combination of electric field and magnetic field. Electric field is indicated by E, whereas magnetic field is indicated by H. Sometimes magnetic field intensity or field strength, electric field intensity and electric field strength. Okay, the combination of electric field and magnetic fields denotes or form EM wave, and one will create other as per fundamental rules or laws of electromagnetic waves, Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Electric field will create magnetic field and magnetic field will create electric field, right? Let's suppose here this is hy, that means the magnetic field strength pointing towards y direction, and this is your ex. Let us say this is your ex, electric field intensity pointing towards x direction. So this is x direction and this is y direction. In this cycle the electric fields are in h direction, whereas magnetic fields are in y direction, and in the next cycle they change their places, right? And these vertical lines indicates magnetic field, that is hx, whereas these parallel lines indicates Ey. So in the next cycle, the electric fields point towards y direction, whereas magnetic fields points towards h direction. Whereas the direction of EM wave is same in the first cycle as well as the second cycle. The direction is towards in z only. So the EM waves travels always in one direction, that is z direction. Whereas magnetic field and electric fields are changing their directions vice versa for every cycle, whereas that direction of propagation remains same for every cycle, right? When you point your fingers, 3 fingers of your right hand, when index finger shows direction of propagation, the middle finger and thumb will show the electric field and magnetic field, and they change their directions when you rotate your hand. When you rotate your hand, the index finger remains same in the same direction, whereas the index finger remains in the same direction. This is index finger, whereas this and this will interchange. Thumb and your middle finger will change their places, x to y and y to x, whereas this z remains same, that is your propagation of electromagnetic wave. So this is about your method of propagation of EM wave, right? And this diagram will indicate frequency spectrum we discussed in the first chapter itself. Initially there are low frequencies, and frequency increase, the bands will increase their frequencies. First, the wavelengths are very high, that is in the order of megameters, whereas the frequencies are in the order of tens and hundreds. Up to 1 kHz, sonar and servo mechanisms are used, and above 1 kHz to 1 MHz or 1 MHz to 1 GHz, these are called radio waves. And after radios, infrareds will come into picture, that is at 1 terahertz. And between infrared and ultraviolet, light will come. Generally light indicates 7 colors, that is violet, indigo, blue, orange, yellow and red. So that is why they are called infrared. When you write the colors in the order of wavelengths, red will have more wavelength compared to your violet. Violet will have less wavelength, whereas violet will have more frequency. So that is why the band which is nearer to red is called infrared, the band nearer to violet is called ultraviolet, and after ultraviolet X-rays will come gamma rays and cosmic rays. So these are the bands, and these radios are divided into many bands, VLF to SHF, VLF, LF and MF. Generally MF band is for radio broadcasting, that is voice. HF band is used for television and mobile communication as well as your radio. VHF for FM radio and television. UHF for satellite radar, right? VLF is used for voice communication. This is about your frequency spectrum. Next, properties of electromagnetic waves. As you know, electromagnetics are nothing but the combination of electric field as well as magnetic field, and these electromagnetic waves possess the properties similar to your light waves. The properties of light waves are same as the properties of electromagnetic waves. So when light is projected onto an object, if the object is very much nearer, the light will fall. If the object is far away from the light source, the light will not receive the object will not receive the light. Okay, that is called, the light will be absorbed by some obstacles. Attenuation, the light intensity also decreases when light passes from source to destination. So these are called properties of electromagnetic waves. Also, the two important properties of electromagnetic waves are wave attenuation and wave absorption. So the range covered by electromagnetic wave is mainly limited by these two factors, right? So when a wave hits the when a wave hits when the wave hits obstacles, the wave will be absorbed. That means wave will lose its energy and the object will absorb the energy, hence the intensity or the strength of the wave will reduce. Attenuation also same, right? Wait for a while, I'll show something about your thing. Wait. Attenuation means as a wave moves away from the source, electromagnetic field radiated from the source spreads out. So spreading will occur, that is indicated, that is explained by attenuation. That is, the waves move further away from each other, consequently the number of waves per unit area decreases. As the wave moves from source to destination, they spread. When they spread, the number of waves per unit area decreases. So that is nothing but your attenuation. Hence power is lost and dissipated, which is indicated by 10 log P1 by P2. And whereas absorption means consuming the energy. Earth's atmosphere is not vacuum, rather than it is comprised of atoms and molecules of various substances such as gases, liquids and solids. Some of the materials are capable of absorbing the electromagnetic waves. So when some materials absorbing the EM waves, when they are in free space, the waves will be taking the waves, will be taking the electromagnetic waves, that is indicated by absorption. As an electromagnetic wave propagates through the atmosphere of Earth, energy is transferred from wave to the atoms and molecules of the substance in the atmosphere. This transfer of energy is called absorption. Spreading of energy when wave is called attenuation. Transfer of energy from wave to obstacles or substances is indicated by absorption in the atmosphere, right? And next, electric field intensity and power density. Electric field intensity is defined by strength of electric field per unit length. What is the electric field per unit length is known as electric field intensity. It is indicated by capital E, measured by volt per meter. It is similar to voltage in electrical circuits, whereas in electromagnetic circuits, electromagnetic wave theory or wireless communication, voltage cannot be measured, whereas electric field can be taken into consideration. And magnetic field strength or magnetic field intensity is defined by strength of magnetic field per unit length. What is the magnetic field? Amount of magnetic field per unit length is known by magnetic field intensity. It is similar to current in the circuits. It is indicated by capital H. The units are ampere per meter. For electrical circuits, voltage equal to I into Z, that is Ohm's law. Current, electric current into impedance. Just like that for electromagnetic circuits, E is equal to ZH, where E is electric field intensity, Z is the free space impedance, and H is the magnetic field intensity, RMS value of intensity. Power density. Power density of an electromagnetic wave is defined by vector product of electric field intensity and magnetic field intensity. For vectors, cross product will be taken, because these electric field and magnetic fields are not scalars, these are not numbers, these are not normal quantities, they possess both magnitude as well as direction. Their cross product or vector product is defined by power density. The units of power density is watt per meter square, because voltage by meter into ampere by meter, voltage into ampere watt, meter into meter square. Because in electrical circuits we measure voltage, electric current and power, whereas in electromagnetic wave theory we measure or we take electric field intensity, magnetic field intensity and power density. power density calculation. Power density is nothing but the radiated power per unit area. How much power is radiated per unit area. Okay, whereas in normal circuits, what is the product of voltage and current is indicated by power in the circuit, whereas in the electromagnetic wave, what is the amount of radiated power from the antenna? When you take 1 square meter area, what is the area radiated into that 1 meter area is known as power density. It is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the source. It is also known as inverse square law of electromagnetic waves. The inverse square law applies universally to all atoms of radiations in the space. Mathematically, it can be represented by power density is directly proportional to the power transmitted as well as inversely proportional to the distance between the source and destination, that is source and the target. So P is equal to Pt by 4 pi r square. P is equal to Pt by 4 pi r square. This is called P is equal to Pt by 4 pi r square. Here they have written, where P is equal to power density, Pt is equal to power radiated or transmitted power, and r is the radius, not radius, distance between the source and destination, or the radius of isotropic antenna, because generally power density is calculated for antennas. How much power is radiated by an antenna, that is called, or generally the main antenna or the basic antenna is isotropic antenna, which radiates or which delivers the radiation in all directions equally. There is an hypothetical or ideal antenna which radiates the signals in all directions equally, that is called isotropic antenna. It is not a practical antenna, and its length is r, and we are taking 4 pi r square because it is a surface area of a sphere. Because when you take isotropic antenna, its characteristics are given by sphere. Sphere in the sense, the surface area of a sphere is the area radiated, the amount of area into which the power is radiated. So the isotropic antenna we are taking for calculation of transmitted power. Hence the isotropic antenna, its radiation pattern, the method, how much the power is radiated in which direction, is indicated by its graphical representation called sphere. The sphere surface area is 4 pi r square. Hence power density is the ratio of transmitted power by surface area of a sphere of isotropic antenna. So Pt by 4 pi r square. So power density equal to, next, calculation of electric field intensity. How to calculate electric field intensity? Electric field intensity, before calculation of electric field intensity, first we need to know what is characteristic impedance of medium. Generally Z is indicated by under root of mu epsilon, where mu is the permeability of propagating medium, epsilon is the permittivity of the propagating medium. For free space, mu equal to mu naught, that is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 Henry per meter, whereas epsilon is equal to epsilon naught for free space. One by 36 pi into 10 to the power of minus 9 farad per meter. When you substitute these two values in this equation, and you will get Z equal to 120 pi. How much? 120 pi. So that is the characteristic impedance of free space. Hence the electric field intensity is indicated by I. So from the definition of your power density formula, power density equal to electric field intensity into magnetic field intensity, or power density is equal to, there is a formula, what is that formula? E is equal to Z into H. E is equal to Z into H. just as P is equal to V square by Z, P is equal to E square by Z, P square by Z, where E is electric field intensity and Z is the free space impedance. And from this formula, E is equal to under root of Pz, and you know the P value, Pt by 4 pi r square, that is power density, and Z equal to, we got 120 pi. Then finally electric field intensity becomes root 30 into Pt by r square. Polarization of EM waves. There is one of the property of EM waves, that is called polarization. So when EM waves or electromagnetic waves are propagating in the free space, the direction is very important with respect to Earth. With respect to Earth, in which direction the EM waves are propagating is defined by a term called polarization. The polarization of electromagnetic wave is defined as the orientation of the electric field vector with respect to the Earth surface. Right? Here orientation means direction. As you know, electromagnetic wave is a combination of two fields or two vectors. They are electric field vector and magnetic field vector, and always we take electric field vector as a reference. So what is the direction of electric field vector when a wave is traveling on the Earth or above the Earth with respect to Earth is given by polarization. When Earth is there, what is the direction of electric field vector, whether it is perpendicular, parallel or circular, that is defined by polarization. Polarization is one of the fundamental characteristics of any antenna. So generally the EM waves are produced by antenna, so that is why the polarization is also very important for every antenna. The reciprocity theorem of a vertically polarized antenna transmits, receives vertically polarized waves, and horizontally polarized antenna receives or emits horizontally polarized wave. So when a wave has to be generated vertically polarized waves, the antenna should be established like vertical, perpendicular to the Earth. When a wave has to be transferred in the form of parallel lines or parallel to the Earth, the antenna should be horizontally or parallel to the Earth surface, right? A horizontally polarized wave antenna will generate horizontally polarized waves. Vertically polarized antenna will generate vertically polarized. This is called reciprocity theorem. The best communication results are obtained when transmitting and receiving antenna have same polarization. Communication is possible efficiently when the polarization of transmitting antenna and receiving antennas are same. So when television transmitters are transmitting horizontally polarized waves, the antenna of the television receiver should be horizontally polarized. Antenna should be polarized horizontally, because horizontally polarized antenna will receive horizontally polarized waves, whereas vertically polarized antenna will not receive horizontally polarized waves. This is a fundamental theory. And types of polarization. There are basically two types of polarization, linear and non-linear. In linear, horizontal and vertical polarization. In non-linear, elliptical and circular polarization. Polarization can also be defined as the figure traced by the tip of instantaneous electric field vector as a function of time at a fixed location in free space observed along the direction of propagation. Linear polarization. Waves are said to be linearly polarized if they have the same alignment throughout the propagational path in space. The waves are linearly polarized when they are traveling in the same fashion or their alignment is same. Their method of propagation is same throughout the propagation is known as horizontal linearly polarized. If they are traveling vertically, they travel vertically from transmitter to receiver always. If they are traveling parallelly, they travel from transmitter antenna to receiving antenna in always parallelly. That is why this is called linearly polarized. horizontally polarized. Horizontal polarization means if electric field vector is parallel to the earth surface, then the wave is said to be horizontally polarized. In this type of polarization, the electric field vector in space is parallel to the ground as shown in figure. So this is electric field vector which is parallel. This is electric field vector which is parallel. So in horizontal polarization means if the electric field vector direction is parallel to the earth surface, then those are called horizontally polarized waves. When electric field vector is perpendicular to the earth surface, that is indicated by vertical polarization. Electric field is a perpendicular with respect to earth surface, then the polarization is called vertically polarization, and the antenna should also be vertically polarized waves. And vertically polarized waves transmits vertically polarized waves, and whereas receives vertically polarized waves. LF, VLF, MF, HF antennas are made vertically polarized because of the proximity of the ground wave. Always there are methods of propagation: ground wave, sky wave, and space wave. As in VLF and HF band, they are using ground as the good conductor for EM waves. Hence, the waves should be vertically polarized waves. For that, vertically polarized antennas are installed in VLF, HF, and MF bands. Whereas horizontally polarized is used for VHF communication or VHF antennas for television antennas. Characteristic impedance of free space. The next important parameter is characteristic impedance of free space. Just now we discussed. For calculation of electric field intensity, first we need to know Z. When you know Z, you can substitute in the formula E is equal to P square by Z under root. Free space is a space that does not interfere with normal radiation and propagation of radio. Free space means where the gravitational forces and earth atmosphere attraction repulsion are very less and they do not interfere wave propagation, normal radiation. It has no magnetic and gravitational fields, no solid bodies, and no ionized particles. So free space does not contain any solid bodies, ionized particles, as well as no magnetic field. It does not contain any electric fields also. That is known as free space. Always free space exists always. Its similar air is approximated as free space. It certainly does not exist near there. Generally free space is not near to earth. Free space, the ratio of electric field and magnetic fields is constant and is called intrinsic impedance of free space. E is equal to Z equal to E by H, that is intrinsic impedance. The characteristic impedance of free space is given by Z equal to 120 pi. And these are the properties of EM waves: reflection, refraction, diffraction, and interference. So reflection is caused due to the earth surface, mountains, buildings, and any other similar bodies. When a wave hits the interference of an earth obstacle, they will be reflected towards the same medium with some angle, and this angle of incidence is same as angle of reflection. In reflection there are two wavefronts. One is reflected wavefront and forwarded wavefront, incident wavefront. Forwarded as well as incident wavefront, both are same. Right? So for reflection, if EM waves is incident on earth, it is reflected back. It is shown in the figure. This figure, you can see this figure. So when EM waves are incidenting on the earth, they will be hitting here. finally they are traveling in this direction. This is called angle of incidence and angle of reflection, both are same. And this is called reflecting surface. Refraction. In reflection, the area or the location of incidence and location of reflection both are same. The waves are started in some medium and they will be reaching the same medium by reflection of an obstacle. Whereas in refraction, they slowly bend towards denser medium when they are traveling from lower denser medium to higher denser medium. Reflection occurs in same medium, whereas refraction occurs between two mediums of having variable density. So when wave is started from low medium and entering into high medium, because of low density in the medium, the wave bends towards high density in the medium. So refraction means bending. While passing through the atmospheric layers of different densities, EM waves get refracted. Refraction means bending. Refraction in radio is quite similar to optical counterpart. When a wave is entering from air to ionosphere, it is refracted, bent towards the normal as shown in the figure. So this is your medium 1, this is your air, and this is medium 2, and this is your incident rays and refracted rays, and this is reflected portion and interference, and these waves are falling with an incident angle of theta. If the medium is same, the wave travel like this. If the waves are reflected by reflected surface, the waves will be reflected like this with same angle. But as the densities are different, the wave rather traveling like this, it travels to it. The wave, if it were traveling like this, if the medium is same, but because of the density of the medium is more in this, the wave will bend like this towards the normal. This line is normal, perpendicular line at the touching of EM waves in the reflected portion. The speed of wave in free space is higher than in ionosphere. Refraction takes place because the wave travels at different speeds in different mediums. That is called refraction. Refraction means bending of EM waves when they are traveling from low density to higher density. Reflection means bending back or returning back into the same medium because of density, and they are in the same medium. Diffraction may be caused due to massive structures such as mountain buildings. Diffraction means more spreading of the EM waves into ionosphere when they exist. Diffraction of EM wave is bending of EM wave and around the edge of obstacles. When obstacle is there, the wave is bent to in all directions. That is called your diffraction. It is caused due to presence of small slits in a conducting plane or sharp edges of obstacles. When the obstacles are having sharp edges or conductors are cut in electric circuits, these waves will produce. This diffraction is based on Huygens theory. Interference. What do you mean interference? Generally, interference occurs between the signals are having same frequency, whereas here the concept is different. Interference means it occurs when two waves that left from one source and travelled by different paths and arriving at the same point. This happens very often in high frequency skywave propagation and in the microwave space communication. Microwave space wave communication. So when the waves are traveling towards the receiver, each wave will take multiple paths. Each wave will take a different path, and finally there is the receiver. This is when the signals are traveling through a distance and making some angles. If they possess some phase difference because of path difference, When they are same, they will be added to the receiver. When they are not same, they will be subtracted, or sometimes when they are opposite in the phase angle of the received signal, they will be subtracted with each other, and finally no signal is received at the receiving antenna. This is called interference. So interference is because of multiple paths from transmitter to receiver. And these are the 4 types of wave propagation. These types of wave propagation will be discussed in the next class. Just we'll see the phenomena by which the electromagnetic waves from transmitting antenna travel towards the receiver can be simplified as wave propagation. This is discussed in the first minute itself, right? Wave propagation means it is a method or phenomena process of electromagnetic waves that are traveling from transmitting antenna to receiving antenna. So basically there are 4 methods. The wave will travel either by the ground, on the ground, and above the ground, and in the space. And there is a special method propagation, that is tropospheric propagation. When the waves are traveling on the ground like sliding, those are called ground wave or surface wave propagation. When the waves are traveling in sky and they are coming back with some reflection and refraction, that is called sky wave. And this is because of ionosphere which is reflecting continuously EM waves. And there is one more wave propagation called space wave. In this, the waves are traveling directly from transmitter to receiver without taking the help of any obstacle. It is called straight line or line of sight communication, direct wave communication. And one more is tropospheric scatter propagation. In this, a volume is created in the troposphere, and that will reflect the radiation or the EM waves coming from the transmitter when they are entering into that volume only. And when they reflect, the reflected waves will be reaching a distant place. It is also called as forward scatter propagation. So these are the 4 methods of wave propagation, right? With this I will stop, and we covered around 8 topics in this session. What is wave propagation? What is EM waves? How it travels in the free space? And some definitions, important definitions. Even we discuss frequency spectrum also. What is attenuation of EM wave? Because of spreading. Absorption of EM waves, that is because of here. Absorption is because of attenuation is because of attenuation is because of transferring of energy from wave to particles of absorbing materials in the free space. Transferring the energy from absorbing particles of materials, whereas attenuation is because of spreading of EMS when they travel from transmitter to receiver, and the number of waves will be decreasing. After that we discussed electric field intensity, their units, magnetic field intensity and their units, power density, calculation of power density, that is PT by 4 pi r square, that is transmitted power by surface area of a sphere, because the antenna will be radiating the signal, and the basic antenna is isotropic antenna and its pattern is sphere. And electric field intensity calculation, that is E is equal to under root of 30 PT by r square. Polarization, direction of electric field vector with respect to earth. 2 types of polarizations, linear and non-linear. In linear, horizontal and vertically polarization. Here the note we should remember is horizontally polarized wave should be received by horizontally polarized antennas only, and similarly for vertical polarized. Generally vertical polarization is used at low frequencies, whereas horizontal polarization is used at high frequencies. This is horizontal and vertical polarizations. Characteristic impedance of free space. When you calculate free space, epsilon becomes epsilon naught, h becomes h naught. Finally, you will get 377 ohms or 120 pi ohms. These are some of the properties of electromagnetic waves: reflections, bending back, coming back, refraction, slowly bending, diffraction, distributing or scattering, interference because of multiple paths of EM waves. These are called some of the properties, and these are the methods of propagations: ground wave propagation, sky wave propagation, space wave propagation. The fourth one is troposcatter propagation, right? So in the next class we'll discuss ground wave propagation. Right guys, thank you, have a nice day.